You made a video about him a couple months back, I believe.
Who is bound?
Who is bound? I want to see what he does off this start. The man is an absolute legend when it comes to money twos. I want to see what he does off the start to finish this this winners final, as he opts to make his way over to the P side, going to try to secure this camo for his team.
Yeah, very aggressive play from Bound here as he gets some nice shots into Dan and Pyrettic backing them down. Doesn't opt to get the camo just yet. Gonna wait for the opportune moment. Looks like Nneptuune's gonna grab it. Bound with some nice shots here, but ultimately out of play. Nneptuune gets pinched, and Bound knows he can't overexert himself here. He's going to try to get a nice 1v1 with Pyrettic, a 3-shot beatdown to take him down and staying alive. Look at this gameplay from Pound off the rip. Forces Dan to go for the melee as well and ends up getting a trade in the end. So I love that opening from Bound there, staying alive and getting a 2-for-2 off the start here on the scoreboard.
Right, Bound absolutely made a good situation out of a bad scenario. He was able to get that trade out. But what I want to point out is what happened with Danoxide and Pyrettic right there. They noticed that he went up to that P slide, and they knew that they could zone out that camo player by moving through the bottom. They knew that Bound couldn't get the angle to help. They were able to burn off that camo and eventually get the trade for a 2-2 start. Unfortunately for them, now they're trapped in this back base. I'm going to see what Nneptuune's going to be opting to do to see if he can finish out this collapse on the red base. He finds 3 shots into Danoxide. Now I'd like to see him maybe play a little bit more aggressive, let his teammate distract on the other side, get into that red base. But right now they're just opting to land some shots and then feel out their opportunities.
Yeah, the gameplay is surprisingly halting for a second there as both players in red opting to not push forward. And then we have Bound and Nneptuune controlling the top of the map in the ideal position. But look at Bound getting aggressive here. Bound flying up on Pink Street at 2v1, and he will still get a kill. So Bound making the best work out of that. Of course, Nneptuune's still alive here in a battle with Pyrettic. I'm going to snap on to Nneptuune as Nneptuune pushes up on red here, trying to deny the toilet angle there. Bound getting taken out by Danoxide quickly in the meantime, and Nneptuune looking for his opportunity. Some shots on a Pyrettic. He can't get the beatdown. There it is. And a trade once again. Trades across the board here. Ultimately, though, a slight lead in the favor of Dan. Let's see what he's up to.
Right, and I think for either one of these teams to really start pulling away, it's going to come down to this next camouflage. Who's going to get on top of it, and if they can get away with it. And as we say that, just trade after trade happening on the map. Bound eventually going to go find Pyrettic after he took down his teammate. But this camo is coming up, and I believe Nneptuune's in position to grab it. We'll see if he can get this camo and get away with it. No one really in the opportunity to get him, but Danoxide flies on in, hits him up to become one shot, and Pyrettic's just going to be in that top mid spot, going to trade him on out. So I believe we're just going to see another trade for trade style Halo match for the next 2 minutes until that next camo comes in. That's where these teams are going to feel comfortable, is when they get that camouflage, they can start moving across the map, find these quick flanks. And until that happens, I feel like we're just going to see trade after trade.
Exactly. If they can grab the camo, they can pull away. But as long as they continue to deny it, then they can keep this, close, keep it in their favor. Pyrettic right now pushing up on blue. That melee from below, he'll finally manage to get that kill, and you can see Pyrettic bottom blue base. Meanwhile, Dan in a battle with Bound. Bound will opt to drop forward here with an aggressive play from Bound. Pyrettic trying to back off. We'll see if he can get the best of him in this fight. Of course, just staying alive would be ideal. On bottom blue here, he could get 2v1, and that's exactly what happens. Meanwhile, Bound trying to get an angle on Dan. If they can collapse on him and take him out before his teammate can spawn up and do anything about it, then it's a good situation. But of course, Danoxide will get the best.
Right, that was some beautiful bait and switching we saw down by Bound and Nneptuune in the bottom of the base. He had one player lit him up, took a couple shots. He opted to move out for a different angle, let his teammate take the same spot that he was in at full health, playing against a player that has 3 shots in. They're eventually going to find that trade. They do just that, and now Pyrettic and Danoxide have these players trapped in the back red base. But we've seen this happen before. Both teams have done a great job of playing outside of their bases, not letting these teams finish out their collapses. But this could all change as Pyrettic finds some good shots on Bound, and now this player all alone in red base.
I don't know if you got a chance to see Dan there, but he was using the wall climb to make his way over to the red window, and both him and Pyrettic collapsed on Nneptuune with melees at the same time. Dan doing it again, climbing that wall, looking like Spider-Man, looking for an angle over here on Bound. He'll get one shot into him, and that might be enough. He can focus on Nneptuune with the perfect shots. Dan on fire right now as they lead 15-9. The camo coming up, so that was a crucial slay. He's sitting on it right now. This is the perfect opportunity to get camo, and this is where you pick up that momentum. This is where you extend your lead. Let's find out how they work together here.
See, what we saw from Danoxide right there, he picked up the camo and immediately thrusted over to his teammate because he knew that area of the map was safe. He's not quite sure where these players were, so he just wanted to make sure he could get that camo, make a resolve on his body, and then now do this play where he's just going to be able to move through the middle of the map for free. These players aren't able to see him unless they get the eagle eyes, and Nneptuune does just that, but because of the no auto aim that you get when you have camo, he's going to be able to still move somewhat freely. These guys have some eyes on them, man. They are really seeing this camo play, but the Danoxide gonna opt for the stutter step. He's eventually gonna find his opportunity, and when he finds it, he takes advantage. The 5-shot on Nneptuune, and now the collapse coming in through Pyrettic. This is where we could see this game start getting out of control.
Dan looking deadly at this point in the game right now, leading 17-9. He's not missing shots, working with Pyrettic right now up on P2. They'll both push through pink here as they're stuck in the red base. You can see it looks like Bound trying to opt to push up the top mid and gain some presence on the map here. Dan reacting accordingly. He'll back down Nneptuune. Pyrettic in the meantime staying alive. They can get some sort of a pinch on top mid. They can take down Bound. Bound in a vulnerable position. 5 shots to take him out. And now Nneptuune alone. He has to play passively. Let's see what Nneptuune does to react to this. I'm going to swap over to his screen here. Of course, down by 9 kills. He's in a very rough situation. He can hear the players below him. And he can't get the best of Dan in that situation either. Just slipping out of their fingers. 10-kill differential. I'm not sure what they're going to be able to do at this point.
You know, one thing that's allowed this lead to pull out as it has just been the incredible individual skill that Danoxide has. We see him landing shots. He's winning each of his individual battles, and on top of that, they're doing a wonderful job at pinching. And when you have this kind of momentum going into your game number 1, you have to feel really confident. They're showing what they're made out of. Bound and Nneptuune, I believe they're probably the best Halo 5 2v2 players on the planet, if I can say so myself. But Pyrettic and Danoxide making a name for themselves right now, saying, hey, we're going to take that spot from you. 11 kill lead going into the end part of this game.
Bold statement there, Garrett. The best on the planet. On the planet, apparently. All right.
They're absolutely monsters at this game. But
they definitely are monsters. It's looking rough for him right now. We can see both Nneptuune and Bound trapped in the bottom of blue base. And Nneptuune in a very vulnerable position to hide here, and he will get taken out for it. Of course, the hit markers and the nades don't lend him any favors there as well. And Bound right now top mid, trying to get a stick, almost sticks himself. Things looking really rough on this first game. And of course, they'll have opportunities to flip the momentum in their favor. But I think this one might be, out of their grasp at this point. I'm not sure what kind of a comeback they can, they can put together here at this point.
Well, they do have Danoxide and Pyrettic trapped in the back blue base, so if there's an opportunity for them to start getting them off spawn cycles, it's right now. Nneptuune is going to find the kill on Pyrettic, but then Danoxide just comes in, sweeps in, find the easy double kill, and I think 1 kill buffer to go for this red team. I'm going to say it's going to be quite impossible. Danoxide is going to just feel free to move across the map as he sees fit. Bound eventually does find that kill, but it's just going to take a lot in order for them to come back into this game.
Wow. Pyrettic managing to get a double beatdown in the end there. I'm surprised that wasn't a backsmack. And of course, we can see a very dominant showing from Danoxide and Pyrettic there to start it off. What I'm actually curious to see in that scoreboard is Danoxide's perfect kills. Do they have the stat there? I
think we can just pop up their name. He only had 1. No, that was Nneptuune. So yeah, so that was Danoxide. I was looking at 4 perfect kills, man. That's just
every time I looked at him, he was just getting perfect kills on. Like, he was just dropping people. And I was looking at the chat there a second ago. Apparently, Danoxide was not missing in Octagon right before this, so he's been grinding Octagon with Pyrettic, getting himself warmed up, and it's showing right now. Danoxide's looking scary, going 15-7 in that game. Nneptuune and Bound playing pretty evenly as far as their stats. You can see 7-13, 7-12. Things are going to change in Plaza, right? Things are going to change as far as momentum, as far as the way the map plays. You got the sniper, you got the OS. Hopefully that gives Bound and Nneptuune an opportunity to bring things back in time for regret. But right now, not looking so hot for him.
Absolutely. Sorry, Garrett. I didn't mean to interrupt. That was an excellent game out of SSX3. Really taking it to Nneptuune and Bound. Kind of surprising in my opinion. What were you going to say, Garrett?
I was going to say, going back to that perfect kills that we're talking about Danoxide have, we saw that Pyrettic had 7 assists, so that means there was 8 kills on the map that Danoxide didn't have assisted from Pyrettic, and half of those were perfect kills. So every opportunity that he had on a one-on-one, bro, he absolutely executed perfectly on those kills. I think the individual talent we saw from Danoxide right there was great, and Pyrettic was doing a wonderful job at helping him throughout the game.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at Plaza. While we get this one queued up, so sorry about the wait, but nevertheless, this is going to be game 2. As soon as we get everybody on the correct teams, we're having a little issue with the graphics, but looks like we just cleared that up. Now, Plaza, what do you think the key to success is on this map, Shyway?
Well, of course, your starting strat, you got the OS and you got the sniper rifle. Now, OS is going to be the immediate grab opportunity. People are going to want to grab that. They're going to be contesting that off the start. Whoever gets it, you have to very quickly make your way over to that combo and make sure you control the combo as well. So there's always a counter to that OS. They have to make sure they have that plan B in store. So, diving in, maybe getting that burn or grabbing it is going to be the initial objective, but make sure you're ready for the follow-up. Of course, the sniper rifle is going to be very important as well. So we'll see how they balance all of these these important items on the map at the start here. Even little things like the light rifle is going to come in handy in this game as well. So we'll start it off and see how it goes. Who do you think we should kick it off with, Garrett?
Danoxide, he did it everything last game. I like what you brought up. This is really the map where the sandbox is going to play the most impact in the game. We have a light rifle, a noob combo, an overshield, a sniper rifle to use. There's so many opportunities on this map to give yourself an advantage. It'll be interesting to see which team opts to do that. Danoxide
He messed
already. Oh, yeah. It was a little unfortunate for him not quite able to get that overshield, and this is the opportunity for Bound and Nneptuune to really take advantage in the beginning part of this game. But as you said, that noob combo, Pyrettic eventually made his way right to it, made sure he got it, so he has the opportunity to burn Bound's overshield off. I'm going to actually hop on board with Bound as he has the overshield and the sniper rifle, and he's just moving straight into their spawns, not even having to use the sniper shot for that first kill. And I like this hyper-aggressive gameplay we're seeing from Bound.
Yep, and good awareness there on Pyrettic, right? Immediately going to grab that combo, so having an immediate counter for Bound in this play here. But Bound, of course, with the weapon and with the OS in his favor, he's looking pretty confident at this point. He'll fly into market, trying to find an opportunity for maybe a no-scope or something. He's caught in a 2v1 in bottom mid. I think he got a little overzealous there, dropping the sniper rifle. I like how Pyrettic will opt to fire some shots into Nneptuune to back him down as well before he grabs the snipe himself. And now we can see Pyrettic with the sniper. A few shots left in the chamber here. He's got a lot he can work with. 7 potential kills if he can get some nice lanes in here as he sits on big door. He's got his teammate baiting up on S4. Going to try to stay alive here. Dan in kind of a vulnerable position, and Pyrettic can't help him here. They got to be communicating. They have to find time to work together so that Pyrettic can actually be useful in these opportunities.
And like we said earlier with the series before, I'd like to see the sniper rifle be a little bit more fluid on the map. Don't just opt for one angle. Take a look, see if you don't see anyone, try to find a different one. These players bound in the Danoxide, they're not going to let you just sit up in a spot and just try to snipe out 1 or 2 angles. You have to try to catch them off guard, and Pyrettic right now is in trouble. They knew exactly where he was. They knew what angles not to push. They eventually come get that sniper rifle, a 5-1 lead for Nneptuune and Nneptuune and Bound to start off this series.
Yeah, some passive play from Pyrettic right there. Not really moving, not repositioning, not giving himself very many opportunities. In the end, he just got pinched, and now I'm taking a look at Nneptuune. We'll see what he can do with the beautiful no-scope. The first thing he does is just lines it up on top yellow and gets that killing spree. We have Dan pushing up to top mid. He will stop him from grabbing any more kills. We have a bit of a battle going on, but Bound grabbing the OS, so big play from Bound. Even though Nneptuune went down, Bound taking full advantage of his opportunity to get the OS. We can see Bound right now with the light rifle, with the Magnum. He knows there might be a player in Cafe. He doesn't know that. I thought he might, but now he'll wrap around. He might get a chance here. Pyrettic with some shots. Pyrettic knows he needs to escape, and being one shot, he's in a rough situation. He wants that sticky, can't land it. Bound looking strong right now, 9-2 as they continue to assert some dominance on this team, and this is the comeback they needed.
Right, and I like this. I like what the overshield does for Bound. Right, it allows him to play at his full potential, playing as fast as possible, getting behind these players. We see him just soaring across the map, and because of that, he's just been a pain in the neck for these players. Danoxide eventually going to take him down with that sticky grenade. But it's gonna be up to them to. It's gonna be a steep road to come back right now. Pyrettic, he does get the sniper rifle, so they have the potential right now. But a 6-kill lead in favor of Bound and Nneptuune. This is a team where you can't really let them get leads like that because they're not gonna let you come back anyway easily.
Really rough situation with Pyrettic here. He's sandwiched in between 2 players, and that gives Nneptuune the sniper once again. Nneptuune, round 2. with the snipe. I'm excited to see what this man might pull off. He looks into driveway immediately. Beautiful angle. The presence of mind to place his reticle there that early to give himself an opportunity. Of course, he doesn't get the kill. We'll see if he has a second option right here on Dan. The headshot to take him down. Moving up to S4, repositioning, looking for that second player. He knows Bound's gone down as well. He might be up in Cafe. Nneptuune just staying alive. Working with Bound here. He's got a great position for some angles. Spots Pyrettic, knows he's in a 2v1. And I like what Nneptuune's doing. He's just got to make sure he's got Bound in sights. He was a little late to Bound there. He's going to end up in a 2v1 here. He needs to try to stay alive, and it looks like maybe if he burns some of that snipe ammo, of course he goes down. It'll transfer hands.
Only one bullet to work with for Danoxide. They did a great job of pushing out. We saw the angles were great sniper angles from this red team, but unfortunately just a little bit of a timing error. Wasn't quite able to line it up at the exact same time. I'm going to actually hop on board a Pyrettic. He has this overshield. I want to see how fast he's going to play with it. See if he's going to opt just to move right in. This is what we saw Bound do with the overshield. I want to see if Pyrettic takes a lesson from him and plays that fast aggressive role. Right now, it seems he's a little bit scared to push into these two players.
Yeah, very different than what we saw with Bound. Bound was flying into the opposition, and Pyrettic a little more passive on his play. He's getting melted from Nneptuune, completely taken down, manages to finally get a kill on Bound there as he dies, and Danoxide in the meantime hanging out on the signs. You know, just being a nerd. Here we go. Jump off one side to the other, and let's just wait for his teammate to spawn back up here. Of course, you can hear the battle in yard. Spots Bound alone here. You can try to isolate him for a 1v1. Bound, why did you clamber? He takes him down as well. Nneptuune will have to back down. Looks like they might be able to get a pinch. Pyrettic will jump down and take the same angle as Dan, though. We'll see if they can work together and get a couple more slays. They are still very far behind here. Some nice shots on a Bound. Bound's in a tough spot. Can't find his head.
It's so hard. You know, we can see the outline, but
all weapons out of ammo.
Oh my lord.
Oh, jeez, he can't get it.
I guess he's gonna go find that battle rifle that spawns over in this blue room. Maybe he can make that do something. I believe this might be one of those rare times that we actually see someone have to use the battle rifle.
Yeah, unfortunate. Nobody wants to have to use a battle rifle in Halo. I can't believe what happened to this gun, but it is what it is. Dan playing a little carefully here. We've got Pyrettic, though, in the meantime, waiting on snipe, and he doesn't recognize there's a player right behind him, too. I don't know if anybody got a chance to catch that setup, but Nneptuune and Pyrettic were standing beside each other waiting for snipe. And of course, Nneptuune spotting it. He'll manage to get that kill, and now Nneptuune with the snipe in his hands. You know how dangerous he is. The OS coming up as well. Big play and a big opportunity for a momentum shift if Pyrettic and Danoxide can somehow take advantage of this. But this is looking good for Nneptuune. He gets the hit marker on the nade. He knows exactly where they are. He knows he has timing for OS, and he grabs it. Only thing to worry about now is the combo as he flies up onto yard and he sees it there. Looks like all's good for Nneptuune. Good opportunity here.
Nneptuune, I don't think he knows there's this player behind him, and that player gets the sticky grenade off of him, and now just immediately pushes into him. Great job by Pyrettic right there. He played a really patient style of Halo, was able to get behind that overshield player, landed the sticky grenade, eventually takes him out, and now sniper rifle as his reward, down 6 points. They know where they're spawning. Pyrettic is not letting them out of that tunnel for free. Unfortunately, gonna miss that first headshot, but he knows where both players are. He just needs to communicate that to his teammate, and they can eventually finish out this collapse.
Wow, you have to give kudos to Pyrettic for that play, though, and for that Hail Mary nade. Pyrettic looking great right now, but just the presence of mind to recognize they don't have snipe, they don't have OS, they have to keep their presence low. They waited in yard, and Nneptuune didn't see anybody, so he climbed back up to top yellow, got stuck in the back for it. So beautiful answer to that situation, and now they only trail by 4 kills. Pyrettic with the snipe, looking for a body. He can't find it. He'll have to back down. Where is Dan in this process? Up on top yellow. We'll see if they can find some way to work together. Of course, still Pyrettic holding this angle. He loves this Cafe position here. He can't seem to find that opportunity that he needs to. Spots one S4. Intelligently, Nneptuune and Bound will stay passive.
I find this angle interesting. He's going to opt to go to top yellow. He will eventually have the help for his teammate. Unbound lands one shot, but he knows this player's right around the corner, finds the headshot, and then immediately after that kill, a switch flips for them. They immediately push the other player, finish out the collapse, and that 6-kill lead we saw for Bound and Nneptuune has been cut down to 2. Pyrettic still has 2 sniper rifle bullets, and I guarantee you they have at least one head written on them.
Well, you know he wanted that mid-air no-scope, but he didn't quite grab it. Of course, OS right underneath him. I'm seeing a player left, but it looks like all is good for B. We still got 2v2. Pyrettic in the meantime, he will manage to get the OS with only a 2-kill differential here. Oh, beautiful shots from Pyrettic. He'll get that body and a headshot nice and quick. One more kill.
We lost
Oh, no, we did
right
lose him.
there.
Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.